do you have something that is just eating your lunch? Like, is there something that you are dealing with that you would like some insight or some guidance or just somebody to talk you through? Because that is what I'm doing on the podcast. The last month or so, I am taking your requests and addressing your issues, your challenges, your frustrations, and just kind of talking through them. So if you have something that you would like to hear on the Good Words podcast, please reach out either on Facebook, in the Facebook group, on Instagram, on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure you can message me through Spotify as well. So if there's something that you would like to hear, let me know. So we're continuing our series of listener requests. And this week, I had it pulled up, but then I closed it. Forgive me. How do you go to things that are not your favorite or make you uncomfortable and not drink? I feel pretty qualified to answer this because I absolutely go to things that aren't my favorite, and I do things that make me uncomfortable, and I never drink. So, this is a pretty good question. And then they also say, I'm so uncomfortable, but now that I'm trying not to drink, I need help. What did you do when you first stopped and went to uncomfortable things that you already know you really don't enjoy? I can think of a very specific example right off the bat. I got out of detox and I had a concert lined up. And this was my first time not drinking in quite a while. So um, I had a concert. It was Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. And it was at Brooklyn Bowl in Las Vegas. And I was in an outpatient program where the counselor suggested that it might be too soon for me to go to like a big public event that I would normally be hammered at and, try to do that in my first 2 weeks sober. But I went to this concert and he was absolutely right. It was too soon. I was not prepared to be in a crowded room surrounded by people without alcohol. I was not prepared to have people like bumping into me and like, dancing and moving. I had not danced sober. I hadn't sung sober. I was super uncomfortable and really regretted and wanted to drink. And for me, the danger was that I wanted to not drink. So it was not a good choice for me, but I did not drink. And then right after that, there's a 4th of July barbecue at my ex-boyfriend's family's house. And for that, I just made sure that I had an exit plan. I let the people that I went with know, or I had my own vehicle and just went, I'm going to go to this thing. But the minute that I start feeling like this is too much, or I'm uncomfortable, or if I start feeling like I'm going to drink, I'm out of here. And, I just let people know that it's not personal and that's just, what I got to do. So for the person asking this question, they don't have a dependence on alcohol. They just, they know that it helps kind of lube up their social situations. And they're trying not to do that. So in your instance, I think it still applies to have an exit strategy, have a plan of how you're going to get out of there. Now, the other thing that I want to address is the things that make you uncomfortable. You can't necessarily fix things. And there are situations that you still have to show up for. There are family functions, there are work events, there are just travel. There are different things that trigger different people in different ways. So the idea is, instead of trying to change the outside things, I suggest that you try to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that sounds really challenging. No one wants to get comfortable with their discomfort. But I want to remind you that this is not the end of the world, and it will pass, and nothing can hurt you in this discomfort. and you're going to be okay. So if you follow me on socials, every Monday on Instagram, I do a live where just kind of do a 15-minute chat ahead of the episode that's coming. So we kind of discussed this on there, and I offered some techniques that I use and that I recommend to deal with the discomfort. But I just want to emphasize that part of our suffering and our struggle is trying to change the discomfort. And I want you to know, and I want you to know in yourself, part of self-compassion is not shoulding all over yourself. Not the bad word, but should. Like, I should be able to deal with this. I should not need alcohol to, be in these situations. Give yourself a break. It's okay. But part of that compassion is also just going, okay, I'm uncomfortable, and just sitting in it, because the only way out of the discomfort is through it. Because you can push it to the side all you want, but it's going to come back up the next time you have to go there. But if you want to be able to go into those situations with minimal discomfort, you have to make peace with that discomfort and just know that it's in you. So just notice the discomfort is there. You can question it, like, where's this coming from? Or where do I feel it in my body? And some practices that I like to do before I go into an uncomfortable situation, like it used to be where, let's say I'm behind the bar and I've just got picture like Coyote Ugly, and there's just like 10 people deep and everyone wants something from me. Being able to pop behind the curtain or duck down and do a shot or two made it to where I can engage, and I could, like, really just light up and turn on. And now I turn to breathing, to where I will go behind the curtain or I will duck down. And you can look up like various breathing for anxiety or breathing for discomfort. There's a lot of different exercises you can do, but I prefer the 3-3-3 method. And the way I do it is I do 3 quick breaths in, I hold for 3, and then I do a slow exhale for 3. So it goes like this. You can do that as many times as you want, but it has just a really effective way at calming your nervous system and bringing you back into your body. And then another thing that we talked about on Monday is just moving that energy around. When you're sitting in the car, you're about to go into the conference, you're thinking about all the interactions and just how uncomfortable you are. Move your hands. I want you to shake your hands out. I want you to shake your arms, move your shoulders back and forth. Move your head around if you need to, but just get that energy somewhere moving in your body. So another technique, I have it listed here. So another technique is progressive muscle relaxation. So you would want to start at the top or start at the bottom and tense and relax each muscle group to relieve the stress. So you can flex your neck and then relax it, and then flex your pecs, flex your arms and then relax them, and then your abs, and then continue to work down your body. And then you're focusing on something else besides your spiraling thoughts. And you're also moving that energy in your body. Another thing that I really recommend, whether you journal or not, is to do a brain dump when you're in this headspace or when you're heading into this kind of situation. Just write down every single thing that pops into your head. Just grab a blank piece of paper or a blank notebook and just start writing, and write until you've got everything out. Everything that's in your head is out on that paper. And then I've come to find that a lot of it doesn't come back up because I took it somewhere. I gave it a place on that paper, and then it doesn't stay in my head. Another thing is, if this is like a recurring thing and you find yourself struggling with anxiety, I always suggest seeking outside help, seeking professional help. Consider therapy or counseling to address some underlying issues. I've had therapists, counselors, coaches, sponsors, and they've all had suggestions, tips, tricks, guidance, and my life has flourished from taking suggestions, especially in an arena that I am not familiar with, like doing things without a crutch, doing things without alcohol. Other people that have been there first, like taking the insight from them and then following it, has proven very, very, very helpful. And if possible, I mean, we did address the self-compassion, being kind to yourself and acknowledging discomfort is a normal part of life. It is not a bad feeling. It is not wrong. It's not something you shouldn't be feeling. Discomfort is normal, especially if you're going into a negative environment. So just give yourself a break for feeling that way and then let yourself set into the discomfort and just go, okay, I'm uncomfortable. And then decide whether you're going to do this or not. Take some of the tips that I just gave you. And then there is the other option to limit your exposure. If possible, remove yourself from the situation causing discomfort until you feel better equipped to handle it. Now, this is especially true if you are newly sober. I'm talking like alcohol abuse disorder or substance abuse disorder. If you are new to living without chemicals, without substances, it's okay to limit your exposure to pretty much almost anything besides your treatment options. The early days of doing things without alcohol are totally different than like now I'm, 3.5 years away from it. And I don't think about whether or not I should or shouldn't drink because drinking is just not a part of my life. But in the beginning, it really is crucial that you make choices that support your decision to not drink and you limit your exposure to situations that make you feel like you need to change the way you think and feel. And some people feel really uncomfortable in meetings or in clinical settings, but sometimes those are some life-saving strategies that you just kind of need to brave through. So there are some exceptions. This is all an individual process and an individual journey. And I feel like it applies to all of us, especially considering I was someone who was physically dependent on alcohol. And the person that reached out is just a person who only drinks when they go into these kind of social situations and doesn't drink to excess, doesn't drink to intoxication, doesn't drink to blackout every time. Big difference. And still the same things kind of apply. Um, so yes, I think I covered, just a variety of ways to handle going into uncomfortable situations. If you have any experiences with this, please feel free to share. Jump down in the comments if you're watching this video and just let us know if you have anything to add, because what you have to add could really help somebody else. And I put out new episodes every Wednesday, and also I go live on Instagram every Monday. So join me on Instagram Live on Monday at 2 p.m. Central. So that's noon for you West Coasters, 1 for my Utah fam, and 3 for you East Coasters. And then episodes will come out Wednesday morning. And you are so loved. Thank you for listening.